being from Utah, do you think the only successful people sometimes are from, the door-to-door industry? But it's kind of cool to branch out and just, oh, dude, I made my money in finance, or oh, yeah, dude, I just own a ton of businesses, and it's kind of cool just to hear everyone's like different story while you're driving in their Lamborghini.
Super stoked. Landon Topham here.
Yes, sir.
We're taking a little shift from how we normally go, not being as political, but bouncing into one of my favorite topics is like success, entrepreneurship, and really I'm pretty excited about this new chapter that we're starting here with the door-to-door stuff and Nexus, because I think when I took a step back, got out of the meal prep business. If you still want good meal prep, 1% fitness, use code Vox Valdez.
Yes, sir.
I was like, what do I really care about? And what am I passionate about? And I've got to this crossroads where I've been able to do a lot of cool things. I've been able to start multiple businesses, fund them, invest in others. And I attribute all of that success or the know-how to door-to-door sales. And I think the coolest thing for me has been as people have worked on my door-to-door teams, some as far as back as 8 years, 9
Jeez.
years, and seeing some of them are now doctors, lawyers, doing cool things. And they come back and say hey, because of these skills I learned, I was able to do this. That's what I wanted to be a part of. And so it's cool meeting someone like you who's taken door to door and you're launching it into probably the the coolest thing you can do.
Right. Yeah, I'm trying. Just seeing successful guys like you helps out a ton, just to kind of, you guys have paved the way, make it a lot easier for the younger guys to go in and figure out how to do it. So,
Well, you're
always
doing
good.
things way cooler stuff than I've done. So you're getting into tell everyone about the stuff you are doing. I think it's sick.
Yeah. So, I've been in the exotic car business now, what is it, 6 months? And that's taken me some really, really cool places. But basically I just broke exotic cars. Right now I'm helping source a 488 Spider Ferrari. It's white. It's $280,000 car. It's more than some people's houses, right? But it's just cool. The car world, what I found out is that that's the melting pot of all really successful rich people kind of go, is they all love cars. It's been cool to rub shoulders with just some really successful people about cars, but just kind of hear their stories and kind of hear their mentorship about business and things like that. That's what's been my favorite part about the car
Dude, that's
world.
awesome. But that's a crazy transition going from you did door to door for what, 2 years?
I've just finished my third summer. Yeah.
And then how did you even just
So a connection led me to, his name's Joey. If you watch this, Joey, you're a dog. But Joey, he just moved to Utah from Florida 7 months ago now. And he just sold a really successful solar business. And then he and Jeremy Crane, Jeremy and Phil, actually, there's 3 people. So there's Jeremy, Phil, and Joey. Jeremy and Phil have 20 plus years in the car just world of Porsche LA. They were the top salesman there. Kind of just been brokering cars for really the Kardashians, a lot of high end names. And then they ended up making Pocket Autos. It's a 1099 car brokering dealership, just a bunch, and they recruit a bunch of door to door guys. And I was one of their first ones they recruited and brought over, and we've just been kind of growing that really silently right now. We only have 3 or 4 reps that are actually really doing stuff. And we're just kind of learning everything from them before they really start to scale it and stuff. But it's just a 1099 platform. It's what I say, it's the best side hustle that I've ever done, because it's not full-time work, but it's just relationship building, which has been super fun.
Well, and those relationships turn into so much more.
Exactly.
That's that. A lot of people would use the excuse that you need to go to school to learn skills in order to apply to a job, and then I felt when I was in college in 2014 to 17, it turned into, well, you might not use this these skills you learn here, especially I got a marketing degree.
Right.
They're but the network, the connections you'll make in college, which is funny because it seems as I've gotten more involved in these types of groups you're talking
Yeah.
about, I've made way more connections doing that and learned a lot more just from being interested and young. And people, I think, see that you want to hustle and you're interested in them. Like,
Right.
and you want to like, they see that and they really are willing to take you under their wing
Yeah.
and show you being successful isn't impossible.
100%. It's just trial and error, in my opinion. You try a ton of times, and then eventually you'll be successful in something. That's kind of my take on it.
Well, there's this quote. I think we might even posted it on our Instagram, but it's something about like, does luck exist or something? And I've always lived by the saying, it's like the harder I work, the luckier I seem to get. And I think that's true. I think there is a lot of luck that has to deal with success, especially as I've had businesses fail. Um, I thought we had everything rolling. I thought we had operations dialed, like things were going good, but whether the product just wasn't meant for the market, maybe like people just didn't like it or whatever it might have been, it just wasn't the right time.
Right.
And so I think there is a little bit of luck, but being able to work hard in transition and be, what's the right word? Like adaptable,
Adaptable. Yeah.
I think is really, really undervalued. So these guys all started from sales. Like the one guy started solar, and
Yeah,
then
and they're all pet, and they were all pest guys to start with. It's funny, like they were all like, you talk to them, it's like, oh yeah, dude, like we want to get these door to door guys because they are adaptable. They can learn on the fly. They're, they already have the sales experience, and it's because they're like, we've all done it, we all know, and so that's kind of why they kind of put up shop in Linden, so like right in the heart of Utah County, right there, and it's super cool. It's been a good experience to just kind of learn all about the cars and everything like that. It's been super good. And you just being from Utah, you think the only successful people sometimes are from, the door-to-door industry, but it's kind of cool to branch out and just, oh dude, I made my money in finance, or oh yeah, dude, I just own a ton of businesses, and it's kind of cool just to hear everyone's like different story while you're driving in their Lamborghini.
Well, that's the cool thing is whether you start out in door to door, I don't think there's a faster way to launch yourself.
Right.
Like at least for me, I started out 21 years old and I had these goals. And in 2016 or 17, I had this vision board. I made everyone in our office do it when we were in San Antonio.
Okay.
And we got these posters up and we got pictures one day for our morning meeting. And I printed out a ton of pictures and just had a bunch of stuff there. Got some, I think like magazines or something. I don't remember. Maybe we just used it on the printer.
Right.
But we printed out all these pictures of what people wanted to achieve. And I put up a house and I put up like the car I really wanted to drive. I put up like a family. I put up all these like different things and goals that I had. And we put that up on the wall. And I was like, I want to achieve these things by the time I'm like 30, I think is what it was. And I started working that summer. To be honest, I would consider that failure a summer with how we all performed. But from that summer that I considered a failure, I achieved that year every single thing that was on that board. Everything. Like we got home from the summer. I was going to one of the door-to-door guys' weddings. We're driving past his house. And I was like, to my wife, that looks just like the house we had on our vision board.
Right.
We go up and it was for sale.
It was for sale. Okay.
We go up and we look at it and we're like looking at the sheet, how much is listed for. I got on my phone on one of those like mortgage calculators and I was like, I think we can afford this. And we ended up looking at that house, didn't like everything about it. So we bought the lot right next door. Like literally there was no house on the lot next door. We bought the lot next door and built the house we wanted right next door to that house. And
that's awesome.
that was crazy. And then like I was driving this Ford Fusion and that was sick. Actually, I love the Ford Fusion, but I really wanted a 4Runner. So I had this 4Runner with a sick roof rack.
Oh yeah.
All these lights on it, the sick lift. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to, that's a stupid investment. And then I ended up having a friend that owns a dealership. And he's like, hey, dude, I don't want to buy this car. I don't think it's worth it for me, but I know you like these. Do you want it? And I ended up getting it for like $15,000.
It's like a wholesale deal.
Yeah,
like
wholesale deal.
Off the market. Yeah, those are the best.
And like everything just started clicking. And I put it on that board. And from a summer that I would consider a failure, I was able to achieve all of those things.
Right.
And I just don't know another industry where you can fail your way to success. Like I don't
Right.
think I ever once hit my like goal that I had. When you finish the summer and you're like doing your first creation
Uh-huh.
or whatever we do at
Yeah.
Moxie, I never hit my goal. I don't think even once, but from failing at door to door, I was able to live the lifestyle I wanted and then build a bunch of other businesses.
100%. Yeah. Door to door. I think everyone has a similar story when they first start. It's, you know, the memories in the old car you had, the Ford Fusion. I'm sure there was just so
Oh,
many good memories. Same here in my little Honda Civic. I think it was totaled twice.
oh my gosh.
It was totaled twice before I kind of let it go. But yeah, it was kind of the same thing for me. It just kept, if you do something, you stick to the plan, you keep doing it. Door to door is the best pilot. My first summer obviously wasn't the most ideal and everything like that, but I just believed in the systems and I kind of saw the vision that like, yeah, if I want to get a jump start to my career and do what I want to do and, hit these goals and hit these visions I have, I got to stick to this as long as I can. Especially me, I'm not a college kid. I dropped out. So,
So like now, like what's the vision? What are you building for? Whether like I guess with the car thing, just I
yeah,
love cars, especially like classic cars and off-roading big vehicles. So
right.
I think everyone loves that. But what do you guys what's the vision? What are you growing to? What
Yeah, so I was going to just do like a marketing company. That was kind of the plan at first was like, let's just do marketing where it's, we have like options for guys to sell pest control. We have options for guys to go do fiber internet and then the car brokering. Um, I'm a big believer that like pest control still is, we've talked about this, but I still think it's the best sell because you can sell every single door in theory. So it really teaches a sales representative all about sales, all about prospecting, everything you know about sales. And then fiber internet is more of a introduction level to sales where it's if you work the hours, you get paid. Like you'll find some deals for sure. So that's kind of what I've structured it is we just kind of pivoted to fiber this off season while I was kind of transitioning, not knowing if I was going to knock another summer in pest control or do whatever. So I've just been doing the car brokering and then a lot of fiber blitzes, and that's been a blessing. Like pivoting, um, not leaving the industry, but just taking a quick pivot has been like super super important for me, and it's been a blessing for my family and everything.
I think the thing that intrigues me the most is there's so many different like personality types that I've seen be successful. For example, I've had reps where I almost didn't have them come out for the summer because I didn't think they'd be
No
good.
way they're gonna sell.
Yeah, I just doing the training with them. And just I don't know, like I feel guilt. There was like one person in specific that I was like, I should tell him no, but he's so driven and so positive that maybe he could do it. But I felt guilty even bringing him out for the summer. I was like,
Yeah, I don't want you to, right.
I was
It's
like, I
just
should probably leave him at home. But then he came out and he actually was like a top 10 rookie. I think he was like
jeez.
third or fourth rookie because he had like, he was very, his pitch was just the most unnatural pitch ever, but had all the drive in the world and he had like the work ethic that was just gold that ultimately he just was able to be good. And so I'm always curious, like, what do you think in a rep that makes them be successful?
It's the drive, it's the motivation. It's, I've always was taught like, what's your why? Like if you can find out a good why and you can stick by that, then, it's never what you say. It's just always how you say it and how hard you work. And so, words have never mattered in a pitch ever. Like I found that out really quick because I thought I tried to make this magical pitch, these different words, and it just confuses you and it confuses the prospect. And so I've kind of ditched that. It's just keep it simple. And then if you can have a work ethic, you can have a good vision, but it's more about proximity. If you can be with like a group of guys that are hitting their numbers, are hitting big goals, big numbers, then you're gonna just automatically be driven up. Because I think I've heard and I think it's true. It's typically your rookies or your reps will do half of what you do. That's kind of like
Mhm.
just the metric. So if you're going to go out and hit, 300 accounts or 300 sales, your best rookie's probably going to do like 150, 175, right? And so if you want your rookies to do better, you need to do better. And that's all in work ethic and just being around the right people.
Well, that just happens so much in this. I can't tell you how many times I've heard a leader or a manager just say, I can't wait to get off the doors. And that's all they talk about. But then their team's success just plummets because all their focus is on is how soon can I be off the doors and making this passive income and making this rip off my guys. And whether they're communicating that directly with their team leaders or even if they don't even have team leaders, their reps, that just translates over so much. One thing, like one of my, I don't want to say idols, that's like sacrilegious, but like one of like the people I like, what's the right word for that?
Mentor,
I wouldn't even say
don't
mentor.
know.
I'd call him a mentor, George Washington.
There you go.
But like George Washington, what I really like about him is there's just so many stories about him going to the front of the battle and being with the troops, crossing Valley Forge, doing the hard things with the guys that he was around. And ultimately, he didn't even want to be president. He said, I don't want to be president. They forced him in because he was such a great leader. And I think what made him such a great leader was that he was at the heat of the battle with the soldiers. He was in like the hardest parts and he wasn't asking anybody to do anything that he wasn't himself willing to do. And I don't want to like make this too spiritual, but like you go into the Book of Mormon and there's King Mosiah and there's like the scriptures are talking about how he's like dedicated to working in the fields and laboring with his hands.
Right.
And I think as you do that in this, that translates over to the success of your reps directly because not only are you doing the hard things first, but it inspires them that they can in turn do the hard things. And then when they lead, they're willing to do that as well. So you're hitting here, you're driving them up. And I've had salesmen surpass my sales and do better. And then it just becomes a ladder effect
Right.
where everyone's climbing together and we're pushing each other. And it becomes a super awesome environment and atmosphere.
Yeah, it's a good feeling when one of your guys can pass you in sales, and it means you did a good job for sure.
So
Yeah.
I think that's like the thing that gets me the most excited about this is just seeing that success in reps. So as you're building, I know everyone's going to be blowing me up after this. So if people want to get involved with your car stuff, what do you look for to even pre-qualify someone to see if they can work with you?
Yeah, so we actually like we're super strict, I guess, on who hops on. Like they've only added guys that know people, or it would be someone that's proven success, that's been successful, someone like that. Just because there's only our goal is to find 1 or 2 reps from each company. So from the Moxies, the Aptives, the Grits, and then they just funnel and farm from their respected company. And that's kind of what we're looking for. And so, or just ties to anyone. So that's kind of what it's going to be. It's a couple guys from each company that, that want to do it and that have the connections and have the love for cars. And then they'll be able to make some really good passive income for sure.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
So, I mean, basically what you're saying is if someone wants to do this, come sell fiber for you.
Yes.
Then after you sell fiber and kill out of fiber, maybe start selling some pest control, sling in a lot of pest control.
Mm-hmm.
And once you're good at selling pest control, you start recruiting
Yes.
and building teams. And once you've built teams, recruited and sold, then you can move into...
Then you can make the 15 to 20K commission checks in a car. Yes.
Yes. So hit him up on, what's your Instagram?
Landon _Topham.
There you have it. So
Yeah.
reach out to him if you're involved. What you should do though, you're really good at like talking on just like this. It'd be so dope if you could get like a car set up inside one of the classic cars and you do like a podcast with these successful people in their car.
Ooh.
And you show off like the whole episode is like, hey, this is my guy Travis. He's the best video producer literally in the world. And he's buying a Lamborghini.
Yeah, we're buying that. No, that's actually, you're onto something. Where they started a podcast a little bit, but they just talk cars. They're like nerds when it comes to cars, and like it would just go over everyone's head.
Well,
So
yeah,
it would be smart to actually do like a It'd be smart to do that in the car. You just talk, you hear their story of how they got the Lambo because it's not ordinary to buy a Lamborghini. So you got to be doing something right.
Well, and you get like the video, like it's like Pimp My Ride, where like, no, 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 no. What's the one with the houses?
What's
The
the
one
one
that
where
used to be on MTV? Cribs.
what? Oh, MTV Cribs.
So it's,
But wasn't there a comedian that would like drive around and do a podcast? Like he's a funny dude and he would
yeah, James Corden.
yeah, he would
Is that
do
his
something
name?
like that and have a ton of guests and just driving around. That's something
Yeah,
similar to
you
that.
could do that, and you
Don't-
like do like uh, a Cribs of the car. So you're like, hey, here we are with Travis. Film the car, walk around it, tell all the sick stuff about it, and then you get in, and
Do a
then you
podcast.
have the.
That's actually fire. I saw a Bentley or a Rolls Royce Colin. It was like one of the first ones ever made this weekend. It was
like 1918.
yeah, it was like old. It was, and it goes for like 300K.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's insane. It was pretty bad. It was super cool, super cool. But yeah. I'm excited just to kind of get this thing going. Like, there's no back in what 2014, 2015, 16 was like the solar rush, the solar gold rush or whatever, where there was people that had no business making 300K were making it easy. That's how I think fiber is right now. I think fiber is at that peak state where there's everywhere and any place in the US is getting fiber really soon, or they are getting it right now. And we're just trying to take advantage of it. Like, I think it has a lifespan of, 2 to 3 years, right? Where guys that are entry level sales reps can go in and just make an absolute killing. And then veterans will like make really good money just doing this. And so it's important to find some good structure. I'm happy we connected with this stuff because fiber right now, it's just so new that people are trying to just go out and have like hey, we're a pest control company, but we just our main focus is pest control, but we just want to do a blitz or two just right now. So there hasn't been like a group or a company that's like, hey, let's take fiber head on. Let's be the industry leader in it and actually do some cool stuff with the sales program, kind of build it and everything like that. And once a company does that, which I think there is going to be a company that's doing that, I think fiber will be able to like blow up and people will actually understand that fiber is the next wave right now. It's not going anywhere for the next 2 to 3 years. And like, there's a lot of money to be made in this next, little rush of fiber right now.
Well, it's so simple. Like the sales simple. I don't think people realize you go out for a week, and if you're terrible at sales, you'll make like $3,000
Right.
in 1 week. So like you could be absolutely terrible, trash at sales and make $3,000, but you can make all the way up to 20K in a week on your personal sales. But then as you recruit and you just bring out your friends, even if you're terrible at selling, I think for some people it's hard. I don't think it's that hard, but for some people it's hard to recruit for a summer. To be like, hey, come and leave for 3 months. But it's really easy. Like, hey, come out for a week a month or 2 weeks in a month or 10 days in a month.
Right.
Come make some money, recruit your friends, and come make $3, $5, $10, $15,000 in a week. And then if you're recruiting, make $50,000, $30,000 in literally a month. And people like that, I think that sounds like crazy money with little effort. It's a lot of effort. It's always hard work, but you can make anywhere from 3 to 30, 40, 50K
100%.
if you really apply yourself within a weekend on a month.
100%. And like, there's people doing it, all the time. We've seen it, we've done it. But it's just crazy because it's like you said, the hardest part of fiber is just knocking the doors, which that should come easy. That's because the pitch, you're not adding an expense like you are with pest control. Okay. It's not solar where you have to have this complex pitch and wait 4 months to get an install. It's, do you want better, cheaper, faster internet, no contract, no installation fee, and our first month's free? That's the pitch. And like,
it's a no-brainer.
It sounds too good to be true, but that's the pitch. And that's why it's so easy. It's just, you're actually helping these people save $100 to $50 a month, whatever it is, on their Wi-Fi bill for faster Wi-Fi. And it's just no contract. It's the things that scare people in door to door when you're at their doorstep. The things that scare them, you don't even. It's not even part of the sale. There's no contract. There's no installation fees, and so it just makes our job as salesmen so much easier when it's non-committal, or I don't know the word or the right word to use, but fiber's the move.
Yeah, it's easy. The hardest thing I think for everyone when they're trying to make the jump from being a 9 to 5 worker or like a college kid is the commitment and the self-belief. And I think there comes a moment in everyone's life where they have to step in and be the hero of their own journey and commit and say, hey, today I'm going to take control and I might lose. I might go out and hunt and not catch anything. I might not kill anything today, and be willing to take some losses, but to learn the skills where ultimately you're able to have everything you've ever wanted. And it all starts with just that one first decision to commit to something and just do it. And
Right.
like, you've seen it, I've seen it. I know if someone goes and works with you, they're going to be successful. I've seen it happen just repeated basis where it's like, just commit yourself to something, give it 3 to 6 months, and you'll see some magic happen.
100%. 100%. That's the blueprint. And it's just, can you catch the vision? Can you be humble enough to know that there's no such thing as an overnight success, right? And it's when you swallow that pill and you see these people online. It's just the online world, I think, is really like jacked it up, where you see all these guys, you're like, dude, what am I doing wrong? Nothing, man. Just the thing you're not doing wrong is getting in the right system. Just find the right system of guys, a group of guys, whether it's sales or whatever it is. But with what we got going at sales, find a good group. We can be that group for you, and just come in and just have fun. Learn these sales tips. Learn awesome strategies. Be around guys that are family oriented, that have goals, that want the houses, that want the cars, that want to do good, and like you'll eventually have that. That's kind of what I found out.
You're the net of the 5 people you surround yourself with.
100%. 100%. And I think there's just so many other people out there. Like, I used to recruit just thinking of a dollar sign. Like, oh, dude, like, I'm going to get you, and I see just 10K. That's all I see right now is just, 10K. But as I kind of pivoted from that, like, that didn't work well when I thought of them as a figure. I wasn't there for their, personal life. I wasn't there to congratulate them on other things. But when you're actually more of a friend than a boss, and you actually care about them and like want to see them succeed, you don't care about the money, then the money comes, but also you have a really good relationship with this person. And there's so many people I've worked with throughout the years that, like, yeah, they're out doing something else. Like, I have a buddy, he's the #1 sales rep at his tech company right now. He started in pest control with me. I was his boss. And now he's like the #1, I forget what he does, but he's on the phone just doing tech sales, and he's like absolutely murdering it. And like, it's kind of cool to watch that. And I check in with him, once a month. We call once a month and just chop it. And it's like, that's the best feeling. Not the paychecks. It's just like the success stories that we're able to create and see just from working with us.
I couldn't agree more. Well, thanks, man. It's been awesome chatting with you. I'm super excited to see what the future holds because I know it's going to be big.
100%. 100%. Yeah, we're starting small, but it'll be big real soon.
Real quick, throw out your Instagram one more time.
Yeah, Landon _Topham, Topham, kind of not Topham. Yeah, just find me there. If you wanted to go on a blitz, we have a lot of things going on right now. We have some guys up in North Dakota getting ready, all over the country.
Everywhere.
Just let me know. We can get you started.